Bonjour et bienvenue. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rebecca Embler, and I'll be teaching your child in French 3 this year. Some of you do already know me because I've had your child in French 1, but some of you don't because your child is coming from another French teacher from GHS or from the middle school. But I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the French 3 course. Hopefully you've already watched my introductory video so you know a little bit about me as a person and my teaching philosophy. This video is specifically for the parents and the students in French 3. So why study French? And especially why study French at an advanced level? There's so many different reasons. But really the one that's the most exciting and the most important is it opens up a new world to you. And most people assume when I say that I mean that it opens up a world of travel. That is amazing. Or a world of job opportunities. That's also amazing. Or even a world of art and music and literature. That's all amazing too, but that's not what I mean. Um, Language is the means by which we understand the world all around us. And learning a second language is like seeing a whole new world all around you. And that's so exciting. Um, why do I love teaching French 3 specifically? French 3 of all the courses I teach might actually be my favorite because there's this very exciting moment when they go from being rather uncomfortable and having some very rudimentary basic skills in French, and I get to see that moment of transformation where they really go to being able to communicate, read, write, and understand in French in a meaningful way about topics of their choice. French 1 is a little bit about learning how to be a French parrot. You know, in very specific situations, how to respond. By the end of French 3, there's a lot more individuality that comes into your language. So that's really, really exciting for me. And I also really like the age group. Typically, it's sophomores and juniors, and so I get a chance to work with that group on improving their study skills and study habits going forward. So this is actually the first year that I'll be working with freshmen as well at this level. So working on our study skills is going to be really, really critical for them. A special note for the parents of freshmen. This is the first time ever that level 3 has been French has been offered to freshmen, and I can give you an almost 99% guarantee this will be the most challenging class that your child has. I cannot underestimate that. This is already a challenging class for the sophomores and juniors, and and for a freshman, this is going to be an even greater challenge. I'm going to talk to you about all the things that you can do and your child can do, and that I will do to help support your child. And this is true for all levels, but it's especially important to those freshmen in this class because they're going to need, I think, the greatest support. Okay. How am I going to teach your child French? What is the class going to look like? The first and most important thing, which you should know if they've done their summer homework, is they're going to have something called an interactive notebook. And this notebook is absolutely critical. This is going to be their primary resource in the class. So as you'll see, they'll be taking notes on one side of the page, and then the other side will be blank. And that's because we're going to be using that space to interact with the material. In the past, you might have a notebook with some notes in it and some worksheets with some stuff on it, and it doesn't all come together. This is all in one place. It's supremely organized. It keeps everything all together, but also interactions is not just fill in the blank. They can draw, they can make flashcards, flip books, diagrams, write songs. There's so many different options they have to really make an individualized investment in the class. One thing that's really important is they will not have homework assignments. Their homework is going to be threefold. All notes will take place at home. All of the notes will be up on my website. So instead of filling out a worksheet, they're going to be just writing the notes at home in their interactive notebook. And then once they come to class, they've already had a chance to do the boring part that they don't really need me for and formulate questions that they have any. So all of our class time can be spent actually using the language and practicing. So if they say they don't have any homework, that's partially true. They don't have a homework worksheet, but they do have work they need to do at home. They'll also be expected to do interactions with the material. So if you look at their notebook, you should see on one side notes and on the other side a fabulous mishmash of variety of different activities. Also, they will have a test or quiz, not every class period, but pretty close. And that is because we have to keep such an incredibly rigorous, fast pace to be able to have the students at a place where they're ready to continue on to AP or IB level 4. I would love to go slower, but there's just no way to do it and get all the information and all the skills necessary within the course of 1 year. And I can tell you, your child will amaze you. If they really do follow all of the strategies I give them and take all the support that I give them, they're going to be able to do things that blow your mind. One thing that I started doing last year, which was extremely helpful, was anytime a student failed a quiz or test below a 60, so failed it rather severely, I required them to come in for a 1-hour detention. It's not a disciplinary issue, it's to help them. The first half hour they would spend doing correction activities, so they would do test corrections or retake it, and then the second half they would spend studying for the next test or quiz they have. And I wouldn't just turn them loose and say, study. I would tell them, these are the exact strategies that you need to do to prepare for this kind of quiz. The idea is they would only need to come to a few of these detentions, and hopefully by then they will learn the necessary study skills in order to pass the tests and learn all the necessary information. So we'll be in contact about that in the future. So I know the course is hard and I expect a lot from the students, but I also give them a ton of support. One thing that is going to scare your students up front is I do it in the first semester. Something like 80% of what I speak is in French. At first they do little, but we do more and more and more. And in the second semester, I speak only French and your child speaks only French. So that's going to be scary, but also so exciting. If they can force themselves and put themselves out there, then they're going to discover that they actually have competence in a second language. So that's something that you can look forward to. That's one of the many things that you and your child are going to get out of the course. The ability to speak, read, write, and understand French, and not just basic situations, in individualized situations. That's really exciting. Hopefully they'll also have some study skills that they can use in other classes, and also an appreciation and open-mindedness for perspectives and worldviews other than their own. So that's what I really hope to get out of this course. And also, of course, that they feel comfortable and ready and prepared to move on to those even more advanced levels. Well, I hope that answered some of your questions about what to expect from the course, but if you have any other questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to email me. My email is rbembler@garlandisd.net. Au revoir.